viewers. We have Suresh ji back with us. Welcome, Suresh.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
There's a lot of news happening now, Suresh ji, and the most amusing one is that uh, uh, Rahul Gandhi has got a huge blow because 25 MPs from India bloc voted for CP Radhakrishnan, and NDA's total strength in both houses was 427. Now, how did CPR get 452 is the question. Now, which party MPs from India bloc voted for Narendra Modi? Is it DMK? Is it SP? Is it AAP? Suresh?
Well, I think the question, I just finished a debate on this point on Doordarshan Hyderabad in Telugu, and I've just got back home. Now, the question that obviously arises is the number of 452, which is speaking for Radhakrishnan ji, includes minus 15, which got, which were kind of invalidated. One of them, of course, being a postal ballot that was invalid, which means 14 votes have got invalidated. Who are these 14? And obviously, the reasoning is they're the Aam Aadmi Party guys. They didn't vote for the Congress nor for BJP, so they must have done some scratch the paper and given it so that it becomes it becomes invalid. That's what it looks like. But the more important worrying factor for Rahul Gandhi is, as you rightly said, who are these 25 odd people who voted? Okay, because Jairam Ramesh tweeted immediately after the election kind of was done, voting was complete at 5 p.m., saying that all 315, India Allied members have voted. Now, obviously, he jumped the gun because without waiting for the counting to happen, and people like me went after him a moment he said that when we saw the results. Because see, one has to be practical about it. Let us be very, very clear about it. Um, Rahul Gandhi's basic problem is that he's not humble. He's an arrogant. He's like those brats you see in many cities, with rich parents giving them flashy cars, sticking up at pubs, and all that nonsense that they do. The sense of entitlement, "Janta mera baap kaun hai" culture that you often see in Delhi, is what happens with Rahul Gandhi. He doesn't like being questioned. He likes being shown off as a thinker, as as an entrepreneur, as a technologist, everything else, and he's not anything of that sort.
In
And that
fact,
is
also, Suresh ji, as you say, you remember the way he entered the room, the way Modi ji came, put his vote and went off, and the way Rahul Gandhi came in, the stark difference explains what you just said now.
actually you don't know. You know the backstory of it. He lost his way in the new parliament. Because this is not the usual route which he takes to enter the no, no, seriously, it happened. And the videos, which is not in public, but I saw a couple of them, and I was listening to that on a few news channels, and we were told that he lost his way inside the parliament. I heard this on a Malayalam news channel, and he had to be guided by one of the staff. I mean, one can understand because it's a huge complex, and this room where the voting took place is not generally used for anything much. So his only route is he gets into the parliament, he gets out.
Yeah.
So that is what Rahul Gandhi does, and he comes in for a few minutes, does his drama bazi, and goes off. Now the problem worry for Rahul is simple: is let us look at the short term and the long term. Meena, the short term is the Bihar elections. Now remember what he went to the Supreme Court. When I say he, obviously the entire ecosystem went to the Supreme Court with the petition was to stop the SIR, the Special Intensive Revision. The Supreme Court has had nothing to do with that. They said it will go ahead, it's a constitutional mandate, and we know rest is history. It all happened. Now, the point is, after the SIR started, then came the next controversy is that 64 lakh voters were deleted, 64 or 65 were deleted, and they are people who exist. And Rahul Gandhi had a chai with a few of the dead people, and he made a big story about it. Now, obviously, in any election of this sort, there would be people who would have got deleted, which is why they're given a chance to object. Now, what happened is that subsequently we saw the long process in the Supreme Court, where till date only about 90,000 objections have been filed, and majority of them, 99% of them, have been filed individually by the people whose names are not there. Which and the Supreme Court asked this question. Now, Rahul Gandhi's worry is he did all the drama. When the rally, when the yatra started, it was vote chori yatra. And between, not even between, I think halfway through, before itself, They changed the name to Vote Adhikar Yatra because the vote chori was not sticking.
Yeah.
And this is why. And poor guys in Telangana, Revant Reddy and his team printed thousands of T-shirts and caps all going to Bihar. And I tweeted it a day before to show them that the name has changed, but it was too late for them to do anything then. So obviously, either they would have dumped everything or they would have worn the
Uh,
same thing and gone around.
what a
So
lot of
what?
waste.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the entire worry now is okay. We saw the opinion polls, a few of them, and I think the India Today opinion poll is what I think can be taken with a pinch of credibility. Shows that Rahul Gandhi, forget Tejashwi Yadav, forget JDU, because both these parties, JDU is coming less than BJP this time, and BJP is playing a Karnataka here again. 20 years ago, BJP was nowhere in Karnataka. They slowly built up the party. And to an extent that now they have eclipsed JDU totally and they have become the opposition party. And they were ruling for some time before that, you know that. So obviously the same game is being played in, what you're seeing in Telangana, they're trying the same thing, okay? But in Bihar, obviously BJP is trying to get an upper hand. The only problem for BJP in Bihar is they don't have a leader. They don't have a CM face. You had Sushil Kumar Modi, who unfortunately is no more with us. But then they never had a leader. That's why they always relied on people like, Lalu was there earlier, and then we saw later on Nitish Kumar Yadav, Nitish coming in. Nitish Kumar also, you particularly see that he is not a great leader, but then it's a kind of a compromise you make. Then you might throw a question back at me and say, okay, where were the leaders of, say, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh? We never knew who they were. And out of the blue, you pick somebody like that, Amit Shah or Modi ji comes up with a name and we accept it. The same thing can be said for Bihar, but I think what is going to happen in this election is for Rahul Gandhi, the major worry is his party is going down from 15 to 10. Now, obviously, he is not a vote catcher. He's a carefully built up persona by the social media, by certain television channels, and by certain newspapers like the Indian Express and the Hindu, which are paid to write for them. That is basically, I worked in this industry, so I know it, print industry. You can pay and get articles written. I mean, this is something that was exposed long back. So the legal rule was that you need to put an ADVT on the site somewhere, but nobody does that now. So my main concern for Rahul Gandhi today, if you can call it that way, is that he'll be a totally a lost case, because after this you have the elections coming up in West Bengal, and then you have an election coming up in Assam, and then in Tamil Nadu, and all these places Congress is irrelevant, and West Bengal they are irrelevant. So what will you do now? The question is that for Rahul Gandhi, his relevance is lost. 2026 are the major election times, and there again he has nothing. Kerala, they are there, but Kerala again, due to the factionalism within Congress and others, I don't think they will do anything in Kerala. They will be finished in Kerala also. Pinarayi Vijayan will have the upper hand there. So this is what Rahul Gandhi is worried. He is becoming irrelevant for all the drama bazi that he does. He becomes irrelevant. So I think he's what you're seeing right now is the opposition, the India alliance looking weaker and weaker. They haven't realized that Rahul Gandhi is a baggage they can't afford to carry around with. But then nobody has the guts to tell the king that he has no clothes on.
Absolutely. And taking on from what you said, and now the Rahul Gandhi, with regards to the yatra in Bihar, which has ended, this yatra was more in the news because of the controversies caused by Rahul Gandhi rather than the issues raised by him. At one point during his yatra, he even made fun of Prime Minister Modi's mother. And on the yatra, as the yatra reached its end, it got further embroiled in controversies, leading to the cancellation of the concluded meeting. As soon as the yatra ended, look at what he did. He, as usual, left for a vacation. And his pictures were seen from Malaysia. So all these pictures surfaced on the internet, attracting criticism from everybody, the social media as well as BJP. Now, his pictures have, also sparked the old allegations of Gandhi being a part-time politician. Now, also rumors are that he met with Soros' son, Alex, in Malaysia. So, tell me something, Suresh. How serious is he about politics at all? Or, is he trying to just break India by joining forces from outside?
For you to understand this, we need to go back into Mughal history. The Mughals always had this thing about the Raja's son being the Raja and then his son being the Raja and all that. The problem arose when there were two or three brothers, and one of them would kill the other one and then get into it. To a certain extent, towards the ending, we saw that Aurangzeb even put Shah Jahan in a jail sort of stuff, so that he could look at Taj Mahal all day and enjoy the view. This is what happens in a dynasty, and I always use the word dynasty whenever I tweet about this because I used to use 10 janpat earlier, but now there are three houses where they stay individually, so I can't call them as 10 janpat anymore. But the dynasty is the right word to use. Remember when Rajiv Gandhi was brought in after Indira Gandhi's assassination? Again, we all spoke about the word that he was an uninterested politician. He was not a politician material at all. He was an Indian Airlines pilot. That too, not a great guy because he got in through his influence because his mother was the prime minister, and obviously nobody will object to it. So, but we saw with Rajiv Gandhi, okay, he did some work. It's not that we can't take credit away from him because he was a young guy. He came with a lot of ideas. But after some time, we saw the fact that he was not a leadership material. There's a difference between forcing a person to be taken up as a leader, as in a Mughals. So if you look at Humayun and compare with, say, an Aurangzeb, for all wrong reasons of comparison, or an Akbar, you would see the difference in approach of all of them. Humayun was more laid back, more interested in other things in life rather than ruling his part of the domain. But what we saw from Rahul Gandhi is something very similar. His father was brought in by his grandmother. He failed. Rajiv Gandhi failed in many ways, and he himself admitted that corruption was so endemic that if you send 1 rupee from Delhi, only 15 paisa reaches the states. And then we saw the whole host of scandals thanks to Ottavia Kotrachi, who we know is related to Sonia Gandhi, who was literally running the government bureaucracy, getting every contract from Snam Progretti to the Bofors, everything they made money, tons of money was made. So the image of Rajiv Gandhi got hurt. I mean, I'm not saying that he made all the money, but somebody in the family made the money. Now, when it comes to Rahul Gandhi, poor guy, he hasn't got time to make money. He made money, of course. The fantastic business model case study, which should be taught in all business schools, that you invest 90 lakhs and get a company worth 2,000 crores. I don't think even Adani would have a similar business model. So that's what Rahul Gandhi did, and for which he and his mother, ironically, when he's calling everybody as vote chore and Modi as a chore, remember that he's on bail along with his mother for Section 420, which is cheating, chori, the same thing. So he's out on cheating, and then he's calling others as a cheat. So if you look at entirely the problem, Meena, in India, the chair has the power. The moment you are out of the chair, as they say in my mother tongue Malayalam, not even a dog will look at you.
Yeah.
That is what it is. And we've seen that. There have been chief ministers who are all powerful, and suddenly one day are not a chief minister one day. Nobody even goes to their house.
Yeah.
Till
Absolutely.
then, there are hundreds of hangers around on that place. I remember I used to, in the early days of my career in Times of India, Bangalore, I used to go to Bangarappa's house. And, that was I think it was on Race Course Road, if I'm not mistaken. So there again, I used to see a lot of hangers around on S.M. Krishna, Ramakrishna Hegde, in different points in time. And each time somebody was disposed of, right from Devarajas onwards, the hangers would disappear. They would go. The problem with Rahul Gandhi is that the advisory council that he has around him is pathetic. K.C. Venugopal is the biggest disaster you can ever find on the face of the earth. Okay, he replaced whom? He replaced Ahmad Patel. But Ahmad Patel and K.C. Venugopal have no comparison at all. ठीक है, Ahmad Patel was the 10% man for Sonia Gandhi. Everybody knew that. And everybody knows who got that 10% also. It directly went back to Sonia Gandhi again. But the point was not that. Point was Ahmad Patel was very good at getting things done. Okay, he was a fixer. Even though he never directly contested much of an elections and all, but he was a fixer in that sense of the word. Whereas K.C. Venugopal, and he is the one advising Rahul Gandhi. So no wonder that there are so many disasters happening in the Nehru clan, one after another, and that is what it is. I mean, as much as we called Manmohan Singh as the accidental prime minister, which is Sanjay Baru's books had said, I think here is not an accidental. I think accident ho gaya, hona wala. I mean, that's what an accidental MP you can call him actually, because he's not even a prime minister material. So, or an accidental politician, you can call it. He doesn't fit into the scheme of things. And somehow Sonia Gandhi pushed him into it. And he regularly comes out, as you said, makes a big noise and then goes off to Thailand or Malaysia or Vietnam or Italy and then has a fun and then comes back again. Nobody should question him. Nobody has authority to question him. One Rajanna, poor guy in Karnataka, questioned him and he lost his seat in a matter of hours. So this is what it is. It's a dynasty, off with your head kind of approach.
Absolutely. Now, moving on to what's happening in Nepal, Sureshji. Now, Gen Z's protesters on Tuesday vandalized the private residences of President Ramchandra Paudel, and who has now resigned, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, and has also closed down, and Finance Minister Bishnu Prasad was also assaulted. And so all these things are happening. It's very strange, isn't it, Sureshji? Because like a old Bollywood plot, the plot is the same, whether it is in Iraq or whether it's in Libya or Syria or Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and now Nepal. What they do is the deep state seems to want to topple them, and what they do is just put the poor youngsters in front and say that, see, you are the voices, when they don't even know how to speak. In fact, when they come on camera, they speak all sorts of nonsense, saying that they want, a change in government. They don't even know what they're speaking about. And then the same procedure happens. You burn the house, you burn the things, you start throwing and stealing and also killing people who are top officials. I mean, it's so strange that the army can't even act. So this is happening. What is the reason for this? Way is it? Are they trying to weaken the countries that surround India? Or what are they trying to do? The message opposition is saying that this is going to happen in India, as though they are the ones to decide.
Actually, in a way, I'm really happy that an unstable government around the region is extremely good. The guy who won the election in Pakistan is in jail, Imran Khan, and the guy who lost is the prime minister. Okay, we saw that in Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina won by whatever fair or unfair means. I mean, let us admit it, none of these Islamic countries have a democracy to speak of. Nepal was the only kind of a Hindu kingdom to speak of, and but then we saw the entire monarchy being wiped out at one go, and that was a real tragedy. Now again, that was a case of who done it, because obviously there's somebody behind who got that murder done, mass murder if you can call it. Now, in case of Nepal, it's very clear that you might say it's a Soros textbook stuff, Open Society Foundation funded stuff. But you mentioned a few examples: Iraq, Libya, and other places, Afghanistan also included. Look at each of those places where America had gone directly and intervened. And what happened to those countries now? They are all messed up. Do you know the president's name of the president of Libya? Do you know the who rules Iraq today?
We
It's a
don't.
mess. Nobody knows. Okay, we know this guy in Bangladesh because he's next door. But if you ask me tomorrow who was the prime minister before Oli, nobody knows. We
And
saw
also,
Nep-
Sureshji, now they are selecting a rapper, a music rapper, as the head for Nepal. Are they crazy?
we had a comedian who took over as the president of Ukraine, and you know what
Great.
happened. Okay, so he was also a stripper, by the way. So he had two
Yeah.
three professions before he started. Now he's stripped his nation dry, literally. That's what Zelensky has done. But jokes apart, I think what's happened in Nepal is good for us. I'll tell you reason being. Do you know Oli? When did Oli visit India last? Nobody knows. Actually, Nepalese prime minister land up in India. The good old joke. My dad used to say that they used to, if they don't have food at home, they come to Delhi and have some lunch and dinner, and then they go back. That's how it was described. Not Nepal per se, but generally these countries around this area, be it Bangladesh or anything. I'm not being derogatory to them, but I think what has happened in Nepal is good thing for us, because India, a nation that is going toward gravitating towards China, is dangerous for us. And if you remember what Oli made a statement at the SEO summit, and people have missed this totally. At the SEO summit, he criticized India and China for going for a trade deal through a border region in the close to Nepal. He said, "How can you do it? Imagine this is a nation which is technically bankrupt. It's a landlocked nation. It either can survive based on India or on China. 60 to 70 lakh Nepalese work outside Nepal, mostly in India. and the remittances they send back home, it is like the Keralites sending back money from Dubai and the Gulf countries, something very similar to keep that country going. But the problem is very simple: is that when you look at Nepal as a nation, it is too small to survive. It has no industry to speak of. Its economy is in tatters. It depends on tourism as its main business. And one of the things you need to learn from tourism is stability. If you don't have a stability, if people see the images which they saw, nobody will go to Pokhara, nobody will go to Kathmandu, nobody will go anywhere else in Nepal. Next 1 or 2 years, forget Nepal as a tourist destination. It is gone. You might get stability in a few weeks, but then the images stay on for a long time. Bangladesh, the same thing happened. Of course, it was never a tourist destination. But any tourist destination, this is exactly what happens, Meena.
Yeah. Yeah. Moving on to the next piece of news in Karnataka. Now, the Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar evaded a direct response when asked if he would take over as the Chief Minister in the second half of the Congress government's term. Now, speaking to India Today conclave, he said, "Time will answer. I will not answer. Only time has to answer. Anyone in this world has to live on hope. Without hope, there is no life."
You didn't say
Your
Rahul
comment.
Gandhi, no? The entire thing to appoint a peon in KPCC office to appointing the PCC chief or the chief minister is the decision of Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi to more extent, Sonia is not totally sidelined. So what is the speaking of? They should have said instead that moment Rahul Gandhi thinks I am fit material, even a donkey can be made a chief minister. And that is how it is. I mean, that is how you see the way they are appointed chief ministers across in Congress state, not now, even earlier. The powerful chief ministers were all eased out. Remember Madhav India? Okay, where did he go? Nobody knows. He just disappeared. Rajshekhar Reddy disappeared. K. Karunakaran, same thing happened. They brought in a ISRO scandal and got him down. So the dynasty never likes any powerful chief minister. They'd like to have a chief minister who will dance to their tunes, like Manmohan Singh as the prime minister. A remote control. When they say dance, they should dance. They should never question. The moment they question, they are out. They should never think on their own. Then they are out. So this is the way a private limited company called the Indian National Congress is run. That the chief minister doesn't know whether he's coming or going. The ministers don't know whether they'll be there or not because it's all because today there are two ATMs for Congress. One is Telangana and one is Karnataka. From that is where from most of the seriously that is where most of the money is going to Delhi. I mean I don't want to speak on a public platform like this, but I have proof of it. I have people who have told me that they paid so much of money to ensure that they stay in business in the states, and especially in my state where I am right now. But the sad fact is that is what it is. And today, if you ask the Karnataka chief minister or to be chief minister whether they'll be there or who's coming, they have no idea because they don't decide. It's not democracy. Sorry. I think it's a wrong notion that we are living in a democracy. Now, they may turn a flip it around and say, okay, in that case, how did BJP do it in Haryana or in Orissa or other places? They did the same thing, isn't it? Amit Shah and Modi decided. Yeah, correct. I don't deny it, but at least there is a semblance of democracy there, isn't it? That that it is not a family which is appointing there. There's no family sitting there on top. There are two three top leaders: Rajnath Singh, Modi, Amit Shah, maybe JP Nadda. All these people sit together and decide. At least there's semblance of democracy. But in case of Congress, there's no democracy at all. It is a pure dictatorship which started with Indira Gandhi and then it continued down the line. Of course, Rajiv Gandhi was too soft a guy to be a dictator.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Moving on to the U.S. Proposed bill, the Hire Act threatens the IT firms with a 25% tax on outsourced services, potentially eroding their competitive edge. This legislative move, coupled with existing market pressures, could force Indian companies to seek growth beyond the US and impact new contract acquisitions. The bill raises concerns about increased costs and reduced demands for IT services. How do you see this, Suresh?
Microsoft makes a product in Hyderabad and sends it to US? No, they will not. If tomorrow this happens, they will simply shift their headquarters. Most of the billing I get for LinkedIn and other things, which I subscribe to the premium versions, come from Ireland. Now it's not coming from US, it's coming from Ireland. Now this is being foolish because this bill, of course, will never get passed. That's a different thing. The tech titans will ensure that. The point is, it's a same like tariff. Who pays for it at the end of the day? The American consumer will pay for it. So if it is Wells Fargo being taxed, Wells Fargo has got a huge unit in Hyderabad, massive one. Microsoft just took 2 lakh square feet space next to their campus, which is again one of the huge campuses in the world. I think the biggest after US. So be it. Bangalore, you have so many of those companies, and all of them, most of them are American companies. Do you think these American companies will be taxed by the American government? It's foolish.
Yeah.
Okay, TCS or Infosys does work. Yes, they do work. But then they can always say, boss, we will bill it here. We will give it to you. You have an office in India. We will give it to you. You go sell it there. Or because we are into services. We don't make products. So unlike tariffs, where you put a tariff on a shoe or a gem or a jewelry or shrimp, here there's nothing like that. It's a service. And service flows across boundaries. I mean, you can always send the product to Europe, and from Europe it can go back to US. There's no way you can track it. There is, of course, some method in the madness, but these kind of threats will not work. And as you've seen already, Trump's Truth Social tweet that has just come in, if you can call it tweet, has just come in a few hours ago, where he said that he's going to speak to Modi soon, and we will kind of have a trade deal going. Because November is when trade deal was supposed to happen, and I think it will happen. It's only there will be some agriculture and dairy related products which will be off the table, but the rest of the things I think will get signed. So we need not get worried on this IT thing. Nobody's worried actually. It's only the media which is worried, and for
Yeah.
all wrong reasons, because they don't know how this business works actually.
That's And the last point that I wanted to cover is something that you had also written about and tweeted. It's about the case that we've been also following with in detail. It's BJP Sonali Fogat's case where she was killed and where the culprit was jailed. Now the culprit is on holiday on bail with his wife enjoying himself. What does this speak of the judiciary, Suresh?
He went to a place which has got the same number of alphabets as Bale. It is Bali. Okay, so that is what it is. Judiciary is a joke in our country. Joke. A couple civil can get a bail for the most hardened criminal convict, like Lalu Prasad Yadav. At the same time, other day for Sharjil Imam, when the bail was rejected, Kapil Sibal made a statement. In fact, he said, "I will get bail for him in the Supreme Court." Look at the audacity of him. He's openly saying that I can get the thing done by the judges, which means he has purchased the judges. And we've seen the other day even in the election commission case where the Supreme Court repeatedly in its order said 11 documents plus an Aadhaar. An Aadhaar is not a proof of citizenship, because if you're not a citizen, again you can get disqualified. Kapil Sibal insisted it should be called the 12th document, and the judges modified that order. So, I mean, what we saw in case of the Forget case is a small version of it. We have criminals being given bail. We have told bail is a matter of right. We have sexual offenders being let off. People who have committed murders, horrendous murders, being given bail and even let go. What are we coming to? This country's judiciary is only for the rich. Do you think a guy who cannot even afford a small time lawyer gets a person like Kapil Sibal or Vrinda Grover to argue? How are they getting it? Obviously, there is somebody funding the entire ecosystem. There is somebody
And the
paying these people.
judiciary, which is the
See,
most
judiciary, I'm
important
not
part.
making. Yeah, judiciary, I'm not making a direct acquisition on them. There are some cases where some judges were good, but there are most cases, most of the judges are bad. They have got into the ecosystem. The moment they sit in the Supreme Court, they decide that I am the Raja of this country. I run this country, not Narendra Modi. And that is the most dangerous thing. When the Constitution was framed by our founding fathers, they were very clear on who goes where. But I think over a period of time, we have diluted the entire thing. The judiciary has become a big joke in our country. It is only for the rich, not for everybody. Whoever said that judiciary is good for everybody or same for everybody is an ass.
You're so right, Sureshi, because see, we've been following the SSR case for the last 5 years, and a person whose WhatsApp chats, Riya Chakravarti's WhatsApp chats have shown that there was a systematic drugging of SSR. That woman is now free, And CBI and everybody has absolutely no problem in her traveling or starting any business. So what you said is absolutely true. And with this, we end this session. Thank you so much, Suresh. Always.
Thank you.
In fact, friends, we are very grateful to Suresh for coming because every other hour he has a sort of a talk with either Doordarshan or other channels. And for coming on our channel, we are very grateful because he's also educating as he speaks. So thank you for that, Suresh, and
Thank
good
you.
night.
Thank you very much.
Jai Hind and Jai
Jai,
Shri Ram.
Jai Shri
Jai
Ram.
Shri.